Hello. Um, this is actually the second time I'm recording this because I tried to yesterday and I was very loud. so I'm gonna try to keep things a little quieter today. But hi, I'm PK or Pensy or Pence. You can really call me whatever, honestly. Um, and welcome to the Stagnant channel anniversary Q&A. I'm not sure if I'll do this every single year or if I'll I don't know, come up with something else to do. But it's what we're doing this time, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I got a decent amount of questions, so thank you to anyone who left me some. I really appreciate it. And I think we'll honestly just jump right into it. If my audio quality is a little funky, don't comment it because I'll cry. I'm kidding. But yeah, so let's get things started. I'll be going through the comments in the order I received them, kind of, hopefully. And so the first comment is from Gyro Zappelli. Really hope I'm pronouncing that right. Your questions were amazing. Happy channel birthday. Thank you for creating such amazing audios. Thank you for the compliment. The first question is, how many penguins do you think you could fight barehanded? I attempted to research this. And what I found is that penguins can get up to almost 4 feet, which is kind of hefty. It's honestly a little hefty. And they also have a beak, and I feel like in theory, the beak could stab me. So things aren't looking great. I'm not a short person per se, but that's a lot. So I think I could fight at least one if I can utilize my legs. If the first one goes well, maybe a second one. Maybe. Heavy emphasis on the maybe, but definitely no more than that. So I think I could fight 2 penguins barehanded if I'm lucky. If I don't get my shit rocked the first time. The second question was, what's your favorite and least favorite audio you have recorded? I don't think I have a least favorite. I tried to figure one out, and it felt mean to just go with one of my first 10 audios. So Cordelia's videos where she has art and just a few more words. It felt mean because I was trying my best, and I'm very hard on myself, and part of me wants to delete those, but I also want to show that I was very bad at this at first. But it felt mean to pick one of those, so I'm not going to pick one of those. I do have 2 though for my favorite that I've recorded. It's a tie between the video with Nova and Doll in the park. I don't remember the title, so I'm not even going to pretend like I do. But I really like that one because Nova is Nova. I feel like that's enough. But it was very fun recording that one just because of the dialogue and also the sort of dynamic Doll and Nova have at that point. And then the other audio that I would consider one of my favorites that I've recorded, probably the audio where Solstice is first introduced. So I think it's meeting a friend of your Cupid neighbor, the one with Romeo. And I feel like I really like that one because I really like Solstice. She's very fun. And also I had that video planned for a month or so. And it was really, really satisfying to actually record it and get it out and see reactions to it. So yeah, I will probably say that those 2 are tied for my favorites. And the last question is, have you ever owned a Wii? Yes, I have, and I still own a Wii. I used to ask for Just Dance for Christmas every year until I could buy it for myself. So I have most of them except for the original Just Dance, which I just think is funny. So yeah, thank you for the questions. Also, you added at the end, I hope you are enjoying the Christmas season. I am, I think. It's been a very long few weeks recently, but I'm doing okay, so thank you for that. Laplace, or Laplace, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, asked, where does the inspiration for these type of secret magical towns with multiple sets of characters come from? So there's like a couple of answers to this, one of which I will get to a little later. But short version is I really like urban fantasy that is set in familiar times and settings. It just kind of makes it feel real and sort of immersive while also still, I don't know, giving a sense of magic but also humility. Maybe that's not the right word. But like, I think about the Val audio I made around Halloween where someone commented like, it's really interesting that you're portraying someone magical having a panic attack. And I'm like, yeah, because why would magic being there stop panic attacks? I don't know if that makes any sense. The fact that I have multiple characters, that is almost entirely just because I like having so many characters. I just like telling a lot of different stories, and I also really like character dynamics and interactions. The fact that it's secret just makes more sense to me. I know, like, I guess it would make a difference if everyone had magic, but since everyone doesn't, I think it makes more sense that magic people would hide. So yeah, that's why there's secrecy for flair. Honestly, let's be honest, it's more fun. So yeah, thank you for that question. The next question comes from Corey. Hello, just a normal question. What do you normally do on your free time? Usually I'm still being creative. If I'm not working on stuff for the channel, and to be honest, I'm usually working on stuff for the channel. I will listen to music. I will create music, kind of. I play some instruments. I sing a lot. I draw a lot. I write from time to time. I also like to read quite a bit. Novels, manga, webtoons, comics, just whatever sort of catches my attention. And I mean, of course, I also listen to other audio roleplay content. I really only stick to a handful of channels, but I will get to that a little later. So yeah, thank you for the comment. The next question comes from Ahoy Alex. Hi, Alex. Which character or characters do you feel the most connected to? Probably Solstice and admittedly Jessalyn. Jessalyn, oh god. So she is an amalgamation of a lot of things that I try to work on. I am definitely an academic perfectionist, and I have been since before I probably knew how to spell academic perfectionist. But with her, I really want to like kind of drill into my head, hey, maybe relax a little. I'm also just a sucker for the dynamic she has with Peaches. And so it means a lot to me to basically have a listener that is like, stop equating your worth like that. I don't know. That's definitely like a piece of me in her. And then with Solstice, it's kind of more complicated. I really couldn't fully explain what Solstice is to me. I will say that there are a lot of things that I placed within her as a character that just mean so much to me. And at the end of the day, I just hope that she is enjoyed for said things. So yeah, thank you for the question. Okay, so these next several questions are from my very lovely friend, my esteemed platonic dear, Boyo. So hi, if you're listening to this right now. So we're just gonna get into it. You said I don't have to answer all of these, but I'm going to. So I hope you enjoy. So the first question is, what's your writing process like? Do you write out major points first before adding minor details? Do you write scenarios start to finish, etc.? It depends on the script and the character in question. There are some scripts that come very easily to me. Like, I'll be like, okay, let's go with this idea. And then I just kind of push it out. Then there are other ones where it's kind of more of a struggle. And so I kind of approach it like, okay, I made this note about something I wanted to add. How do I make a script essentially out of this? And there's sometimes where I've had script ideas for a really long time, days, weeks, if not months in some cases. And usually those scripts go fairly fast. It's kind of like a sit down, write it, it's done. Yeah. The next question is, who's your favorite character to voice, least favorite, and of course, why? Favorite was kind of hard to think about, mostly because there's things I like about each of my characters. If I didn't, I probably wouldn't keep them around, or, I mean, admittedly, I probably fix whatever I don't like. I think I will go with Jesselyn. I like the sarcasm that is in a lot of her scripts, and also just the sort of back and forth sort of thing that her and Peaches have going on. It's usually really fun to act out. Least favorite? I'm gonna have to say Nova and Solstice. Not because I don't love them, because I do. I love them dearly. However, there's always something with them when I'm recording. I don't know why, but it's always something. They usually make up for it because their scripts are very fun and I'm usually laughing. But if I had to pick a least favorite, it would probably be them. I'm sorry. I know that's crazy because I talk about them a lot to you, but it's the truth. The next question is, which character are you most excited to develop plot-wise? This was also another tough one, just because of all the ideas I have swimming around. But I think I'm gonna go with Romeo. There's a lot of levels and layers to what I have planned for him, some of which I'm like already starting, and other things I haven't yet started, but I'm very excited to sort of add. But yeah, I'd probably say Romeo, and no, yeah, I'll just leave it there. Probably Romeo. The next question is, how did you get the name Notarum? Does it have any meaning behind it? So let me explain. Usually I'm very good about making notes of what I think when I'm deciding things, especially when it comes to names or like references to things. And for whatever reason, I didn't write this one down. So I had to do some digging and sort of reverse engineer this answer. But I think I kind of remember some of what I was thinking when I came up with the idea for this name. So if I'm remembering correctly, I started with the Latin word for like charm, magic, spell, that sort of thing. And I kind of took that as like a root or base and just kind of worked with that. Came up with a few ideas, reordered a lot of letters, tried to make them sound town-esque, and I eventually landed on Notarum. The ending of the word, like the or even just the is to loosely imply possession of. It's kind of how Latin works. It at least feels very reminiscent of the plural genitive case for anyone else who actually knows Latin. So like aurum, aurum, eum, etc. You can tell I took Latin. I know, I'm a nerd. It's okay. So loosely speaking, notarum basically means place of charm / magic. And also I ended up deciding that I like this one best because it flows off the tongue fairly well. So yeah, that's what it means. Hopefully, again, I don't know 100% if this is what I was thinking in the moment, but this is what I've pieced together. The next question is, give us a bizarre out of context spoiler for any character of your choice. I'm kind of bad at giving subtle spoilers, not because I don't want to give them, because I love like dropping hints and then just watching people's like gears turn, but I worry a lot about being too obvious. But hopefully this answer will be satisfying. So for my most recent Cupid character, the one with the horns as the icon, part of their story references a vine. That's it. That's the spoiler I'm going with. I don't know if anyone will ever care enough to figure out which one it was, but there you go. I hope that intrigues you. This next one started out fun, didn't stay that way, but I appreciate this question. It reads, describe each character as a drink, please and thank you. I got stumped near the end, but hopefully these are fitting enough. So first off, we have Romeo, the man, the myth, the legend. I said he would probably be an herbal tea of some kind, something quiet but calm that fits him, I think. Nova would probably be it's a very specific one. Sparkling ice plus caffeine, the ones that come in the can, they're very tall. That just feels very Nova-esque. It's got good flavor. It's fizzy. It's loud. It's got caffeine. I don't know. I feel like that sums Nova up pretty well. Jesselyn, cranberry juice, as bitter as it comes. I just feel like that makes sense because either you love it or you don't, and that's Jesselyn. The next one was Valora. I said a milkshake of some kind, as long as it's sweet. Again, really just going off of vibes. Micah was easy. Hot chocolate or spiced warm milk, just something that is warm and feels very cozy and comfortable. I think Cordelia would be red wine. I feel like I've said enough. Solstice. I said a cherry lemonade slushie because it's kind of bold and shocking initially, but you usually learn to like it, I guess, unless you hate those flavors. And most people like slushies. I feel like she's a fairly likable person, so that's what I'll go with. And I wanted to add Serena. I really did, but I could not come up with a good answer to save my life. So feel free to leave what you think Serena would be as a drink. I don't know. But yeah, that one was fun. And the last question that I received is, how's your day going? With a smiley face. Thank you for the smiley face. My day's going okay. It's very cold outside, so I probably will be staying inside as much as I can for the rest of the day. But it's not going bad. I'm having fun. This is fun, even if I had to do it twice. So yeah, thank you for all of the questions. The last set of questions comes from Spirit. I know Spirit. Hello. Hi if you're listening. Thank you for so many questions. The comment opens, questions for the incredibly talented PK. You flatter me. The first question is, what does your setup look like? be as descriptive or as vague as you like. I record in my closet, and it's really just me sitting here with my computer and my mic and sometimes water, just like on this nightstand like thing. And that's really it. The next question is, are there any channels that have particularly inspired your ASMR and storytelling? Anyone who knows me knows the answer to this. So I'm just gonna rip this band-aid off. Redacted fucking audio. I love his shit. But I'm gonna backtrack first. So initially, I actually started this channel because of Yuri Voice, which I still listen to his stuff. I love his content. It's very nice. A friend introduced me to that sort of stuff, and I was like, wow, this is like really cool. And then I think I was a fan for roughly a year, and then I was like, okay, I listened to one channel and there's so many others, and I wanted to branch out. So I was like, hey guys, you should suggest another channel for me to listen to. A different friend was like, oh, have you heard of, at the time, Redacted ASMR? I was like, I think you've mentioned him before. Like, can you suggest a character for me? I essentially was like, tell me a character that you think I would like. And he suggested either Milo or Gavin. And I think I had tried a Milo audio and it just wasn't hitting at first, which is crazy now because I love Milo. But I was like, okay, I'll give this Gavin guy a try. And I ended up finding Freelancer season 1. And then I blinked and somehow I had listened to every audio that Eric had at that point. So yeah, I think a lot of other media has definitely inspired characters and plots and other elements, but I know for a fact that finding redacted audio over the summer completely changed the trajectory of everything I do. It was just so cool because I didn't realize how much you could do with this sort of content. And it made me realize I could be doing so much more with my content. And so, yeah. And if there are any fans of redacted audio here, I will also say yes, he is why I stopped making channel art, or I guess character art specifically. I would see the like different interpretations of characters from his channel, and I was like, oh my god, that's like so cool and interesting, because it'd be like, oh, that's like not what I imagined, but like the vibes are really like good. And I just thought it would be fun to see that essentially done to my characters. It's also just a lot more manageable time-wise. I don't know why I thought I could make art that quickly all by myself, essentially. So yeah, I like that I kind of made that shift, because doing the records instead for every video is a lot more manageable, and they also look very pretty. So yeah, redacted audio and Yuri Voice, by extension, are probably the biggest ASMR channels that kind of inspire what I do. I will also mention that I'm quite the fan of Sundu Audios. I think he's very lovely. His voice is very lovely. And so there's probably at least some influence from that as well. So yeah, at the end of the day, I really just, I want to make videos and content that makes other people feel as excited as I feel listening usually to redacted audio videos. And I think I'm kind of getting there. So yeah, that's long version, short version. I really like redacted audio, and I want to make people as excited as his stuff makes me feel. So yeah. The next question is, what kind of books did you read growing up? I read a ton, like an annoyingly high amount when I was younger. I was a part of something called Battle of the Books when I was in middle school. So like, I was a book nerd. It's okay. I accept it. Like, it was called Battle of the Books. I was a bit of a nerd. That's fine. I was a Percy Jackson fan very late into the game. Like, most people are like, yeah, I read Percy Jackson in elementary and middle school. I started that my sophomore year of high school. I read most of the books. It's pretty good. I don't like love it as much anymore, but like formative years and whatnot. I really liked The Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater. Hopefully that's the correct pronunciation. I'd probably say it's my favorite series, but I haven't reread it since buying it as an adult, so technically that might not be true, but it's what I think right now. I also really like the Lunar Chronicles. I own those books. Adam Silvera, Sean David Hutchinson, those books by them. It's really cool. I read Six of Crows and like the other Grisha trilogy. So I don't know, really anything that captured my attention. I know I read a lot of fantasy, sci-fi, dystopian, romantic, YA, lots of YA. Really just YA, let's be honest. Oh, and when I was younger, like really younger, I really liked A Series of Unfortunate Events. I really like the TV show as well. I've seen the movie. The movie's good, but like the TV show's great. I never finished those books though, and I feel kind of bad that I never finished them. I might get around to it one day. But yeah, short version of that, I read various things, but I read a lot as a kid. So yeah. The next question is, are any of your videos ad-libbed, or are parts of them ad-libbed, or are they all scripted? For the most part, my videos are scripted. I kind of tend to ad-lib off of a line in the moment, like as I'm recording. I'd love to get better at it because I think it's really fun, but usually in the moment, I'm not like good at thinking on my feet. So I need a second to get the gears turning. So that's why I don't ad-lib more. The next question is, which characters hold a special place in your heart? Which ones do you begrudgingly love? Bonus points for explaining why. So I have 3 special place characters. The first one being Solstice, big shock. I won't even go into it. She just does. She automatically is included. My next special place character is probably Cordelia. She was my very first character on the channel, and also in general that I came up with for the channel. So she's always gonna have a special place in my heart. Like, I think that's just the rules. Your first character, they always get a little spot. And I feel like it would be cruel not to add Nova into this list because they're for one, they're chaotic. I kind of like recording that energy because it's just fun. But also, as I mentioned, I'm a Percy Jackson kid, and if you can't figure it out who my favorite character was from that series, all I will say is that I really wanted to add necromancy into this story, and Nova is my necromancer, so it made sense that I would love them very much. So yeah, begrudgingly love Romeo. I don't think I need to explain any more of that. The next question is, would you be interested in sharing the etymology behind any character names? That sounds like entomology, studying of bugs. Sorry. So honestly, most of the names that I've given to my characters, I chose because I just found them interesting or fitting for the character. Some examples being Micah, Cordelia, Valora. It's worth mentioning, though, that a lot of the names given to my cupids have more specific meanings, especially their true names. And I know what you're thinking. You haven't told us any true names yet. And to that, I say, I know. For Romeo, though, like his name being Romeo, it's been explained he stole it from Romeo and Juliet. I will say Solstice, her name is more or less meant to coincide with her desire to guide non-cupids. The logic for her is that a lot of the time humans would find guidance through the stars, so she wanted a celestial name. Thus, her name is Solstice. Besides the Cupids, I will say that Nova's name has a lot of meaning, but I can't explain why, because spoilers. So yeah, I hope that that was a satisfying answer. And the last question for our little Q&A is, can you, without directly spoiling anything, give us some sort of hint at something upcoming? I will say that I have plans for multiple characters that I want to introduce, because who's gonna stop me? I'm certainly not gonna stop myself. But I have plans for characters that I want to introduce, and one more specifically falls under a classification that has only been mentioned in passing dialogue. I hope that makes sense and that's a satisfying answer. And the end of your comment read, you don't have to answer all of them. I just did. But I hope you enjoy answering the ones you like. Congrats on the milestones. I can't wait to see where your channel goes. Thank you so much. So yeah, that is the last question. As I mentioned, I am so thankful that anyone asked questions. I was really nervous about that. And in general, I would just like to thank all of my supporters for getting me to this point. It's crazy to think that I'm at almost 400 subscribers in a year. I still remember the feeling I got posting Cordelia's first video, and that was like 90 seconds, which is crazy. I hope that you stick around, because I've got a lot of story in store, pun not intended. And yeah, I hope you have a good day, and thank you for celebrating this Stagnant channel anniversary. Bye.